Okay folks, so this should look familiar. This is where I fell to my doom at the end of part 5, and now we're going to actually get out of Polar Pass, which is fine by me. Really, I'm not a big fan of World 3, but that's alright, because hopefully World 4 will have more enjoyable stages, so... But this is where the difficulty ramps up, and I suspected that this would happen. They just kind of coaxed you into it, and then it's like hell. I mean, because a lot of these stages are very, like, replayable, and I don't mean voluntarily replayable. I mean, you're going to lose by getting 7th place or 2nd place, something like that, and have to either just barely do it again or just plain get fucked over and mauled. And that just kind of happens to be a thing, but yeah, they knew. And I mean, really, it's not as if I would want to say that playing this game should be a quick jaunt, because I know I was on course to beat this game in about 6 or 7 parts, but I don't know. I mean, the tricks that this game has will make you really kind of be like, what the hell? So, but it is fun. I mean, luckily, there's the fun factor, which is why I kept playing, because most games, if they get too tough, I kind of get tired of them, but this has a very similar formula to, like, the Mario Kart series, and somehow it does it without seeming like a clone. So, Crash Bandicoot is one of the few, is what I'm trying to say, that could pull off kart racing besides, like, the Super Mario folks. That is kind of the thing there. Only problem with it is Crash Bandicoot doesn't talk. I mean, I really don't know how you're supposed to have character development with Crash Bandicoot, because he doesn't really go through any sort of growth or change, or, like, you know, all of a sudden, like, I mean, if he had a girlfriend in the first one, and he's like, you know, I just want to be single, or something like that, you know, I don't know what Crash necessarily thinks most of the time, so I know he likes sleep, and possibly food. That's really mostly it. He seems to be pretty brash and adventurous, but you'd never know because he doesn't say anything. It's kind of the thing, but yeah, so I don't have a problem with Coco, speaking of her, or speaking of the Bandicoots, just to kind of say Coco, I mean, she's smart, she's pretty chill and laid back, kind of feels like the big sister kind of vibe, but she's actually younger than Crash, I think. So, it's interesting just because, you know, sisters aren't really portrayed that much in video games, so it's just an extra thought, you know. But really, I don't know what Coco's motivation is. That's kind of the thing. I know she uses her computer. I saw the instruction booklet. She uses her computer to make her go-kart really quick. Her main thing is acceleration, so she gets off the starting line real quick, but kind of the thing there. Yeah, I need this item, this blue orb item, way more often. It's the best item, I would say, especially when you have 10 fruit, because it'll hit every racer that's ahead of you. So, I was trying to save it, and a trick I learned, which unfortunately I don't use until later, is you should, like, for the boss characters, if you get a missile, I would just save it until, like, the 3rd lap. And I know, I mean, obviously the best thing to do is to have 3 missiles and do that. But basically, you get a missile, and then if you're close enough to them, you shoot them at the end of the 3rd lap so you get ahead of them so they can't snake you at the very end. And that's kind of the situation. I mean, honestly, if you're too close to the finish line and they, you know, when you hit them with the missile, they bounce over. I mean, it has to be within the correct point, because they usually give you about 10 seconds or so before the boss character will catch up. But it's just a technique, you know, for aspiring, like, teenagers or adolescents or whatever, whoever, people in their 20s who just discovered this, 30s even, whatever. The trick I would use is just hit them with the missile. I mean, if you have 3 missiles, that's ideal, because then you can obviously do it again, but you just have to understand that you're never going to stay ahead of them for very long, no matter how good a driver you are. So, this is what I would do. That's what I did, actually, but you'll see how that goes. I don't think in this episode, but the next one. So, Komodo Joe's kind of an ass. I mean, he has a cool character, but I mean, he kind of was a douchebag after I won the race with him. So, and that dude just has a missile in his head. He just looked like he's permanently pissed off. I mean, he has a right to be because what's happened to him, but still, it's just some of these characters are just meant for comedy. So, yeah, that's odd. I would have thought, I guess, like, yeah, I think, actually, I want to say that, like, my, hard drive ran out of space. That's the reason why that abrupt cut, because I normally would have showed me going to the save point, but I just was kinda, so... But okay, well, we're gonna be in Tiny Arena for a little while, folks, so don't expect us to get past it in this episode. We're not gonna fight the boss this time. But yeah, so... No, typically I like these stadium type stages. I mean, in the Mario Kart series, these are a lot of fun, but this one is not. I was expecting like some sort of a breather, and I thought, oh, okay, well, this should be a fun stage considering my history with these, but no. There's a lot of mud, which I don't think was in the Mario Kart games, and there's a lot of hills, and they make it hard to get the items. There's a lot of jumps. I mean, they really want you to use like the R1. You have to hop after you hit like a hill, so you'll get a boost when you land. If you don't do that, you don't pick up speed when you land, and they'll get ahead of you. So that's kind of the thing, is you want to always hit R1 after every one of these bumps, or at least most of them, where you get air. Because if you do it correctly, you'll get a boost. Especially that helps when the mud happens. It'll get Crash or whoever out of the mud. So, but yeah, so the thing that really pisses me off about this stage is one of two things. Number one, the items are always off the ground, or most of the time off the ground, so it's difficult to get items for most of the stage. And number two, your competition realizes that, so they will try to steal your items and stuff, and make it even more difficult. That's kind of the concept. They steal items, and then you won't get another one for like another 10 seconds or so, and it makes it difficult to get in first, which is kind of the situation. And then on top of that, there can be a secret third thing that pisses me off, which is when you get a bad item after finally getting an item. So it's like, if you get like the beakers or something, well, that's not going to help when you're in 7th place. What good is that going to do? There's only one person behind you. So it's kind of... But yeah, I don't know. There needed to be a better choice of items in some cases, but you just have to understand that basically, I mean, I know I breezed past most of this game, but this is kind of like hell. So there, I did the jump correctly. And I don't really need these TNT crates either. That's another thing that's kind of annoying, but... So, I really felt like there should have been more than 4 cups. I could have stood for there to have been. Because really, after World 4, you just race Nitrous Oxide. I mean, I thought that there was another 4 races, which would have brought the total to 20, but there isn't. There's only 16 in the game, so this is the 5th to last stage in this game. So that's just kind of the thing there, so... but I don't know, I mean, back in like the PlayStation 1 and Nintendo 64 days, that's all they did. I mean, it was just good enough that, these were, obviously 3D stuff was, kind of new and whatnot, but just to kind of, I do wish that there would have been like 20 or even 24. I mean, I don't know if like racing games even do that now. I want to say that like in Mario Kart they still have the same 3 cups that they've always had. It's just, that's all they do, is they just always have the 3 cups and then the secret one, and then that's it. I don't know, I haven't played the Mario Kart for the Wii U or anything after that, so I wouldn't specifically know, but is kind of the thing. It's the same thing with Crash Bandicoot. This is the only Crash game. I mean, don't think I'm going to do the PS2 one, because obviously Naughty Dog didn't do it, and I don't know how good it was. This was the only one that I saw. I think I remember like hearing that the Crash racing game for PS2 got like a 5 out of 10. I don't know. I mean, the problem with Crash is they just didn't have the original team to pit him in new ideas. I mean, but honestly, I mean, for fans of this who are like buoyant fans, I would say, you know, it's still, I don't know. It just, all video game companies or video franchises, what I'm trying to say, they always have like a sweet spot, and that's kind of the thing. It's happened with Mario, it's happened with Sonic, it's happened with all those where they think, you know, Sonic was best in the 90s, Crash Bandicoot was best with Naughty Dog, Halo was best with Bungie. I mean, that's just typical crap that goes along with it, but it's too bad, you know, because, Alright, so we're going to give Tiny Arena another go. I think I got second. I think you saw me get second there. My cat wants attention, so I'm going to have to pay attention to her for these last 3.5 minutes, but yeah, I'm actually on the verge of getting another cat very soon, possibly. I mean, but see how that goes. So Reggie's gonna have a buddy, and that's kind of the thing there. But I tried to get a male cat. I would have liked to have had like a male cat. I wanted to name the cat Basil, but we wound up getting a female cat. So I don't really feature female cats too much on vlogs, just because they're not quite as funny. I mean, they're not really, you know, ass clowning cats. I mean, like my cat here, Hermione, is not really much of an ass. She's got her traits about her, but she's pretty friendly and such, so. But so yeah, I don't know how the Tiny character did in the last race. I mean, this is his damn stage, and he's like in dead last or 6th place or something. So I'm actually pretty good with those bowling bumps. I like using those as long as there's not a lot of turns, because most of the time I can hit people with those, but I wish that the mud wouldn't have been in this stage, though. It would have really helped. Definitely. I don't know why I'm not getting 3 missiles. I don't know why they chose to give me 1 instead of 3, especially when I had 10 fruit. I don't know what the point. I thought you're supposed to get 3 missiles when you had 10 fruits. I just got gypped there. I mean, I guess it just makes it homing, but then it's supposed to be homing anyway, so I don't understand what's going on there. Like, game glitched or something. I don't know. It's just stupid. I'm supposed to get 3 missiles. Would have helped. I probably would have beaten the race this time around. But yes, this mask is definitely the best item. I mean, I get so pissed off I will veer for those racers. I'm just like, you're getting hit by this. Hopefully you'll fall off the whole course. So. Well, I'm telling you, these TNT crates really don't help. Is because most of the time the racers just hop right over them. And another thing, I hit like the boss. You're gonna see in the next episode that I hit the boss character with the TNT crate. Didn't matter. He just hopped right out of it. You know, and probably if I had hit him with like the green nitro crate, I probably just would have gotten hit by the explosion also. That can happen. You can hit you can drop a nitro crate and be too close to the person, and the explosion hits you also. So obviously TNT crates are, I mean, you can get them in boss races, but they're basically worthless because the enemy characters, I mean, maybe like the beginning character like Ripper Roo that might have knocked out or something, but doesn't work with Komodo Joe, which pissed me off. Alright folks, so we're wrapping things up here. You're not going to get to the end of the race in this, but I'll just have to say, see you in part 7. Subscribe for more fun. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful night.